Okay, he's finally checking his timing in this one. I don't know why he wasn't checking his timing in the other sparring footage. Oh my God, Tom is bullying this kid. Okay, welcome back everybody to the channel. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos that we are making, reviewing some of the top fighters in the UFC striking game. Today we are going to be reviewing Tom Aspinall, who I personally do think is going to be fighting Cyril Gane sometime in the near future. Don't think he's going to be fighting John Jones anytime soon, in my honest opinion. We're going to go ahead and react to some of his sparring footage. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, and without further ado, let's go ahead and watch Tom Aspinall get to work in some of his sparring sessions. So here he is in the clinch. Oh man. Oh geez. Okay. First thing off the wrap, in my honest opinion, what makes Tom Aspinall very, very dangerous is the fact that he's a very big guy and he's really agile. I wouldn't necessarily say that he is a, an IQ beast, a super cerebral fighter, but I think that he's pretty dangerous because he's a big ass fucking human being that's agile as fuck, can move very, very quickly, and honestly has some KO power. And I think that that's pretty much on track with how he's gotten a lot of his finishes in the UFC. Nothing too crazy about his knockouts, right? I mean, honestly, yeah, they are very impressive, but like, they're not in a cerebral type way. Obviously you have to be smart enough to get, some of those KOs, but he keeps it very, very simple. And I think that most of his success is just stemmed from the fact that he is a very agile, quick dude. Oh my God. That disengagement coming from a guy that size, pretty impressive. All right, here's some sparring from Tom Aspinall. And what makes him very, very special is the fact that he knows when to come into the clinch, right? When to keep his opponent from holding, or from progressing their offense. He limits their offense very, very well. That's something that you always want to see from a professional fighter, is the fact, can they land their shots and can they make their opponents, limit their offense.
Some days he's very intelligent, got very fast hands, his feet are unbelievably fast for a big guy. Could be a problem.
Yeah,
today.
well said.
I had 3 little kids and not had a fight for like 2 years because opponents kept pulled. We've gone where the opponent's been a different opponent. There was times that I wanted to turn me back on the sport and do something else. Eventually, in the car to go to the gym, me and his mum sat him down and
yeah, Tom Aspinall, like I said, very, very quick, very, very fast. I think that's what makes him very, very dangerous. A lot of feints, which is very, 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 very good. Okay, body shot lands. Feints a lot. Can get out of the corner, can get out of his opponent's momentum from creating an offensive scheme. He's very powerful. He's just a really heavy guy. Like even his jabs are pretty heavy. You could just tell. For anybody out there that's sparred a big guy before, you guys will definitely understand. He's putting a lot of weight behind those punches.
If any of you ring cat side knows what it's like being around the grizzly bear, this is it.
Oh, good instinct. Ah. Okay. Okay. What's keeping Tom Aspinall from being an elite striker, in my honest opinion? Certain concepts that you guys don't really hear too much in MMA. I mean, I think that in boxing specifically, checking your timing is very important. And for those guys that don't know what that means, is occasionally going into a high guard, reinforcing your defense. That is something that we don't really hear all too much in the concept world of development whenever it comes to MMA for whatever reason. Obviously, MMA is a more broad art, you know, that covers a lot of different things under one umbrella, but in boxing, you know, things are a lot more finicky and obviously a lot more profound. Some of the things that I'm seeing right here that could probably turn Tom Aspinall into a much better striker defensively is occasionally reinforcing his defense by going into a simple high guard. Just checking his timing every once in a while, especially being right in front of his opponent in the 50-50. But that's just, you know, some small things that he could definitely fix very quickly. But besides that, I mean, he's pretty solid. I mean, he's pretty, you know, really good at creating his own offensive pressure by feinting a lot, just making his opponent be defensively responsible as well by, you know, just spamming a lot, and I mean a lot of feints. You know, that's something that is pretty much uniform with a lot of high level strikers. The only thing that makes Tom Aspinall not a super great striker, in my opinion, is the fact that he does have some defensively red flags. He has some defensive red flags, in my honest opinion.
Moves faster, a big guy. Do you know what I mean? Definitely moves faster. Like, I'm not a boxer, so a lot of the time, stop myself a little bit.
Like wrestling a grizzly bear. And that's all I see is that black t-shirt when it comes over the top every fucking hour.
I mean, I'm sure all people know your backstory because Tom, you've risen to such heights in the UFC that everyone's talking about you. But you know, we used to watch you sparring back in the day in the pro top quality caliber fighters. Obviously, Tyson Fury, people like Daniel Dubois, Yuri Fury. I mean, you've got the pedigree in the boxing.
Daniel Dubois,
I think I've got the pedigree.
good boxer.
I think to be the best at mixed martial arts, you have to do all of them. You have to do every combat sport. All I do is I try and. I don't want to be the best at the individual stuff.
Yep.
We're doing some fantastic work.
Yep.
Been in with Tom now for the last couple of camps.
Yep.
With a couple of fights.
So obviously, one of the main things that I'm seeing right now from Tom Aspinall that nobody has had the opportunity to kind of test a little bit. I'm not saying that he's a bad fighter. Obviously, he's not. You know, he's interim champion at the highest level in the UFC. Nobody has gotten the opportunity to test Tom Aspinall on his defensive prowess, right? Because he just knocks everybody out within the first couple of rounds, you know, and it's very impressive to see. But whenever Tom Aspinall does fight that one savvy heavyweight that doesn't get knocked out within the first couple of rounds, that is going to be a very entertaining watch. That's all I'm going to say, right? So far, Tom Aspinall has been very, I would say, in my honest opinion, fortunate that he could put away a lot of guys that aren't really good at striking. I think his most impressive KO so far, honestly, in my honest opinion, has been against Sergey Pavlovich, a guy that's a very heavy-handed fighter that has decent, very decent offense. I think that's his best win so far, you know, against a striker heavy dude, right? But to say that, you know, there's a lot of technical strikers in the heavyweight division would just be completely false, honestly. But until Tom Aspinall fights that one guy that's like that, it's tough. It's gonna be tough to say.
I think he'll do really well because he listens. He's very, very fast. He's very hard to hit. You know, he has a good shell and he comes out of his shell and knows how he's coming out and which way he's going. And he sees things. He didn't just close his eyes and throw shots. Terry's great. And they gel and they get on well. And I think...
Okay, he's finally checking his timing in this one. I don't know why he wasn't checking his timing in the other sparring footage. Oh my god, Tom is bullying this kid. Okay.
Heavyweight is unlike any other division. Nice.
Yeah, this isn't fair.
Them guys loyal to my
That's
team.
not fair.
Like, I've dreamt about this since I was a small boy. Yep, come out now, that's it. Yeah, good.
Alright. So,
It's almost
like I said, I think that Tom Aspinall's like biggest advantage is the fact that he's such a big fucking dude that has a lot of agility. He is very, very agile. A lot of his opponents or a lot of his sparring partners are big, bulky motherfuckers.
almost a year to the day that I blew my knee out in the O2 Arena in London. The most miserable days of my entire life. Now he's thinking, I can't leave anything to chance. I was treating that rehab process like a training camp. I was actually more serious than that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So there you guys have it. Honest opinion about Tom Aspinall.